Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Nonsense Reviews here on the Nonsense Media YouTube channel. The name is Brian Chevre, and today I'm going to be talking about the latest movie in the Beetlejuice world, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, directed by the great Tim Burton, in, introducing Ortega to this franchise, but accompanied by the classic characters of Lydia Deetz, played by Winona Ryder, Catherine O'Hara, Justin Theroux joining the cast, and of course Michael Keaton coming back as the titled Beetlejuice. Now, I was never the biggest fan of the original Beetlejuice film. I was more of a fan of the animated series, which is totally different from the original movie. But I still dug Tim Burton's vision for Beetlejuice. This is his second movie. This was his second movie after Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure, which is a movie I adore. I really love Pee Wee Herman. And the things that people love the most about this movie is it's not just Beetlejuice's antics and the performance of Michael Keaton as the character, and of course the ensemble that includes Catherine O'Hara, who was fantastic in the first film, and of course Winona Ryder, a great actress of her own at that such a young age. But also, the visuals of Beetlejuice was iconic. This is it's not it leans towards horror, but still is a bona fide comedy. And 30 years later, we are here with Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. This movie has been a development for a while. Tim Burton was trying to find the right story to tell with these characters. Everyone in the cast was on board. They were just waiting for Tim Burton, and now we have the movie finally here, introducing us Gina Ortega, who blew up with Wednesday. Willem Dafoe was in the cast as well. Monica Bellucci, and there's a little cameo. A cast member of one of the Batman movies is in this movie. I don't think it was publicly revealed, but I was surprised to see him in this movie. As short of a time as it was, and one of the fears getting into this movie, Tim Burton has had a spotty uh, you know, record when it comes to the his newest releases. Dumbo was critically tarnished and it was a bomb. People are so and so with the Alice in Wonderland films of his take. I wasn't particularly thrilled with those movies, but I love the Tim Burton of all that. I mean, his style is so iconic. So uh, one of my biggest fears coming into this movie is not nailing the tone of the original movie. And one of the big things that like about the original Beetlejuice movie is the visual effects. It's a lot of not hand drawn, but uh, like animation with clay motion, and practical and effects. The practical effects on the original Beetlejuice were fantastic for its time. And we live in a world where CGI and slowly AI are taking over the visual effects industry. So one of my fears is uh, not seeing enough practical effects. Uh, I I love every single part of the practical effects used in this movie, from the monster, from the makeup, from the weird and wacky characters in the afterlife. I loved it all, and the sandworm from the first movie looks just as pleasant as in the first movie, so I was happy with that. But when it comes to the story, I did not know what to expect. I mean, usually movies that come out years and years and years later, uh, they usually don't nail it, and some are atrocious, like the sequel to Dumb and Dumber, or the other Zoolander movie that was released like a couple of years ago. But some are great gems, like the sequel to Hocus Pocus was a good way to revisit that franchise. So there is ways to bring back these characters, and to me, one of my biggest fears, as aside from the visual effects and all that, typically when we are handing the reins to the newer cast, when I heard Jenna Ortega's name, I wasn't thrilled about seeing her taking the lead from Winona Ryder. This is very much Winona Ryder's movie still. So I was happy with that. I love Winona Ryder. I love her in Stranger Things. I loved her in the first movie, even though I wasn't a fan of the first movie. And I was hoping they do not do the typically, oh, this is the new generation of this world. No, Winona Ryder still is the main protagonist in this movie, and we follow her family and the tragedy that the family is going through. Uh, Catherine O'Hara was fantastic, and Jenna Ortega was great in the role that she was given in this movie. But I feel like this movie was a little too, how do I say this? A little too packed. I think they were trying to tell too much in this movie. It feels like we had the side of the family, and Winona Ryder, Lydia D, still not getting over the whole Beetlejuice thing, and then we have the whole storyline of Beetlejuice and his ex, played by uh, Monica Bellucci. I feel like there's two movies here trying to do something and trying to mix it up. If you're going for like the best story in this movie, you're not gonna find a great story in this one. The ending wasn't a big fan of it, but everything in between, like the interactions of the character, the interpretations of the characters, and how they've evolved in the last 30 years, and seeing them back into this world, it's a worthy revisitation of the franchise. Michael Keaton, I've after seeing him in The Founder and other movies that he's been doing, like not franchise films. I saw him as the Batman. He's, aside from Sasha Kaye in The Flash, the only redeeming quality about that movie was Michael Keaton's performance as the Batman. And I didn't think he had it in him, but I shouldn't have doubted him because he was just as good as he was in the original movie. He was funny. He was great to see in the screen every time he was on the scene. He commanded it, and I wouldn't mind seeing him again in this role, as long as there's a better story. And I wouldn't mind seeing Winona Ryder back again as Lydia Deetz. I loved her in this movie. Uh, is it a better movie than the first one? I don't think so. But I think it's a fun revisit of this world. Is funny enough. It's well acted, and I think those are the best qualities of this movie. The story might not be enough, but if you're here for the fun, you're here for the antics of Beetlejuice and the whole shindig. I think this is a good movie to watch in theaters. So I'll give this one a solid 3 out of 5. And I wouldn't mind seeing it again, so I'll just wait for it to hit on Max. So we'll wait for a few months until then. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. It's been a while since I last did some of this, so bear with me. I'm a little rusty, and I'll be revisiting some of the movies that I've watched in the last month in the Beyond Nonsense podcast on Spotify and a day later on the YouTube channel. So please do watch that. And of course, Living Nonsense is gonna be it's gonna be airing monthly. I'm gonna be working with the guys to do more episodes of Living Nonsense. We did a Sonic Trailer 3 reaction and with Jamie and John. So I hope you guys watched that. And anyways, thank you so much for joining me today, and then I'll be seeing you guys next time.